All right, what's up, my brothers? I got a requested video today from one of my viewers that sponsored this topic on a bad experience he's had with a 29-year-old Latin woman. So I'm going to hop right into this and offer some feedback. Let's throw it up on the screen. I'll just read it through. Roll with me on this one. And of course, if you have any feedback for this particular request, leave it in the comments below. I'm sure a lot of you guys have had an experience that might add to this. So this guy's a 29-year-old fella, lives in Chicago, says he has a successful life, works out, takes care of himself, tall, well built, live by the rules of the red pill, and I've been good at it, he says. I work hard and manage to properly vet women and not let dumpster fires into my life. I am writing to you about a recent dating relationship experience I've had that could have caused me great devastation in my life by ignoring just one red flag that I thought wasn't a big deal. Here's my story. So the red flag that he's going to mention is actually one of the red flags in my book, but I have a feeling there's more than just that one here. So let's hop into it. So he says he matched with a super cute, attractive, 5'2" Latin girl, 26, on Facebook dating. I've never used that. I don't know what your experience has been using that, guys, but comment below. Let me know. We hit it off right away. Amazing conversations in app. We moved to phone numbers, continued great conversations. She agreed to a date right away. All right, so he's done the right thing. We meet up, had an amazing first date, couldn't stop slobbering over each other, and agreed to a second date. Also great. Then came the 3-date hookup and had an amazing time all the time. So I added her to my playlist and always maintained. If you guys don't know what that is, it's just dating another woman simultaneously, not monogamously, and always maintained frame in the interactions we had, to which she responded. She responded by being super submissive and treating me like a king and always doing as I say. Her attraction more towards me was insane. I really started liking her because I saw zero issues for the time, red flag zero, until date number 7, a month and a half in, came. And she was showing me something on her phone, and at that very moment her phone rings. She tried to hide who's calling, but he called again, and she broke saying, "My ex is calling me." I'm sure that's happened to a few of you guys out there. I know I've dealt with that before. To which I responded, "That's not good," and she swore she had no idea why. Yeah, okay. Here come the lies. I wanted to cut the date short, but I thought, why ruin my night? I'm going to have a nice date and then take this guy's ex-girl home to my place, and I'm not going to read the details because that's going to be too much for YouTube. Let's just say he gets into intimacy. Believe he called one more time that night while we were busy playing. Okay. After I was done with her, I drove her home and we said our goodbyes, and she told me to text her when I get home, as I do always, but instead I went right to sleep and I didn't care. Probably a good move, given the circumstances. So I would co-sign that behavior. Anyway, so he wakes up the next day and continues on his normal routine. Around 8 a.m., he gets a text from her explaining that she knows it's a bit weird. He called, and she had no idea why he was calling. Yeah, sure. The lies. Women always know why their exes are calling. And we'll get to that in a minute. I'm sure it'll be discovered by the time we get to the end of this email. She understood that I have rules and boundaries and certain things I don't tolerate, and that it's a red flag and it can't be ignored. I replied back saying that she's right. And so this guy is essentially saying, from what I understand thus far, that it's a red flag that she is still dealing with her ex. So that's red flag number 1. Men from her past are still around. That's number 5 on my chapter on red flags. If you're new to the channel, get the Unplugged Alpha on Amazon. I cover this. The red flag chapter is actually free. You don't even have to go to Amazon. I'll put the banner up on the bottom. If you just opt into my email list, which I'll put on a ticker is there, you can get that chapter for free. But the entire book is worth it, so consider that. I'll leave in the top pinned comment a link to the Amazon store so you can grab it if you haven't read it yet. Replied back, so saying that she's right, and until she resolves whatever she has with him, I will not date her at all because I don't need crazy exes barging in out of nowhere, stalking us and other such nonsense. And that my life is drama-free and fine. I don't need any issues, especially from a woman. Wish her best luck and send her off. All right, good move. So he set some boundaries. He let her know what's up. Let's see if he can hold that. So about 2 days pass, and she starts messaging me saying that the longer she waits, the more guiltier it seems that she has nothing to hide, and that she doesn't think she did anything wrong and that it's over with him and that she blocked him over social media but forgot to block his number. He puts in brackets, yeah, right, to which he's right. And she sent him a message saying he cannot be calling her, and she blocked him, to which I thought, okay, fine. Doesn't seem like a big deal. Let's continue dating. Dating, to which we did that same day. She explained to me in person that she's done with him and that she left him and wants nothing to do with him, blah, blah, blah. I was like, all right, I believe you. And we continued having an absolutely amazing time. And eventually, after a little less than 4 months, she brought up the relationship talk. Where do we stand, right? And we chatted, and I agreed to be exclusive with her. I also didn't have the time to be spinning plates all the time, and because she seemed very cool with no issues, I liked her, and we spent a decent amount of time together, even traveled to Miami. I always kept my frame and never brought any bullshit to the table. Always, da, da, da. So one of the things that I would recommend that you consider at this point when she's all, I'm done with him, cool, pass me your phone. Just like a random spot chat. Some people don't like to do this, but if you're going to invite a woman into your inner world and you're going to be exclusive with her and introduce her to your family or whatever else it is that you happen to do, or travel to Miami with this chick, you need to trust but verify. This is something that Ronald Reagan said back in the day, and it's very, very true. Okay, fine, cool. Hand over your phone, unlock your phone, let me have a look at it. If she hesitates, if she's like, well, why? Let me see your phone, or no, I don't want to do that, or why don't you trust me? You're about to encounter some bullshit. If she unlocks the phone and just says right in front of you, like doesn't walk away, doesn't, give me a minute or anything like that, just as soon as you say, okay, unlock your phone and pass it over, it's got to be a surprise, right? Like she can't be prepared for it, and she hands it over to you. There's probably going to be nothing there, right? Anyway, so he skipped that little test. I would recommend that you guys do that. So the 5th month comes and goes, and I finally added her on social media. I kept teasing her that I didn't want to and that she has to wait a while before that, and it was nothing special, just certain places she went hiking and hardly any picture of her. It was just hiking spots with her family, completely innocent. And that's about it. So he says that made him like her even more, and even thought that it was a green flag. Then he added her on Snapchat. I don't know why you guys use Snapchat. That's just a freaking waste of time. And that was another story. That's where she likes to post herself and other attention-seeking things as well. That didn't bother me too much, but she kept snapping me every 2 to 3 days where she gets drunk after her shift at work. And to be honest, it was fun at the start. She gets drunk and comes over. We bang. I loved it until I realized it was happening too much, so I told her I didn't like her drinking at all. That's red flag number, oh boy, that's drinking and addictions. Number 20. That's on the list. Again, if you guys want to get the free chapter on flags, just get on my email list. The link here is below. You can just opt in and then grab the PDF after that. So that's 2 red flags. Keeps men from her past around, which she claims that she's let go of, but again, you didn't verify that. And 2, she's an alcoholic. So that's another problem. Number 3, another one that you haven't mentioned, is red flag number 13 on my list, which is seeking validation and attention from other people. You mentioned here that on Snapchat, she's using it every 2 to 3 days, posting attention-seeking posts, which I'm presuming are going to be like sexy, provocative pictures, or it's like, hey, look at me over here doing something. That's not acceptable. If you want clarity on that, you can read, that red flag in the chapter below, but dive into that if you need that. Okay, so she gets drunk, come over, told her I don't like her drinking at all, and she says, it's no big deal, it's just sometimes at work, etc., to which I disagreed. However, I kept seeing her because I thought it'd get better. Things don't get better, fellas. This is a big mistake that a lot of guys make, is they think that they can fix women or solve problems. And a lot of guys will go and put babies in women that they have problems with, get married to them, they live with them, only to find out that their life gets completely destroyed. Things only get better when you set and enforce boundaries. If they comply, good. If they don't, it's goodbye. You send them off. There is no in-between with red flags. Anyway, so he keeps seeing her because he thought it would get better, but it only got worse. Surprise. We spent Christmas together, and she was awesome, bought me loads of gifts, and eventually New Year's came, and we went out and had a great time until she got drunk at around 2 a.m., went to the bathroom, and didn't come. Okay, so they were out at a public event, and about 2 a.m., she went to the bathroom, didn't come out for 15 minutes. I was worried and was about to call it call until I saw she was coming out. She says, "Oh my God, I just smoked weed in the bathroom." So I asked, "Dude, WTF from who?" To which she replied, "I don't know, some random girl in the bathroom." I ended the night there, took her home, and she was wasted and high. She just fell asleep eventually. So the next day, I drove her home, and we made an agreement to see each other most likely on Wednesday. But Sunday came, January 2nd, and I just kept thinking, this girl drinks way too much, and I can't keep doing this. So Monday came, January 3rd. After I finished, I told her, we need to talk. Around 2 p.m., she asked, why, what's going on? I explained to her that she drinks too much and that she can't remember much of what she did that night while drunk, and I've seen far too many drunk incidents to be cheating, be it cheating or somebody getting hurt. So I ended it and wished her the best, to which she did the same. Now, fast forward to to Tuesday, January 11th. She calls me at 2 a.m. in the middle of the night. I didn't want to answer, but I was horny, so I did. Don't judge me. She said she's drunk. She's on her way over in about 10 minutes. So I said, fine, whatever. You don't sound good. She came over, super wasted, crying, saying some weird stuff, and said she was out with her girlfriend. She got drunk, so eventually I calmed her down and put her to bed. I knew something happened. Some of the stuff she said was truly weird. So when she was knocked out, I finally, for once, took her phone and went through it. Never once done this with a girl, and what I saw in her phone, I was horrified, in total shock. Turns out for the entire time she was sleeping around with her ex that night. Oh, sorry, with her ex, and that night, when she called me drunk at 2 a.m., she was supposed to see him, and he bailed on her, as he always does, so she called me. What did I tell you guys? Women lie. You have to verify. Oh, I've changed. I'm a new person. Cool. Verify it. Trust me on this one. Do the phone check. You don't want to do it, you're going to get bit in the ass. I'm telling you. Save yourself the hassle. I looked much deeper and saw that she was sleeping with him the entire time we were together. So that's 5 months, if I'm not mistaken. So she's porking him and the current guy that's writing me this email. And I've got some screenshots too, by the way, of these conversations, verifying it. And she has an unhealthy obsession over him from the messages. I saw that he doesn't give a rat's ass about her and just uses her when he needed sex and money. And then he throws her away until next time. And that's what's been going on for days, weeks, months, and years. Imagine sharing a chick with another dude. Like, the well's poisoned. You don't want to allow that, fellas. Anyway. To which she responds by being a pathetic, weak loser and literally begging him to see her all the time. Wow. While he just throws her small doses here and there and then just throws herself under for being completely pathetic women with no respect. Respect whatsoever. What I saw absolutely disgusted me, and that I couldn't believe a woman can be that low. Dude, are you new to women? Well, he's 29. Yeah, so I guess he probably hasn't seen this much. The older you get, the less this surprises you. Okay, so I'll just say that. So you younger guys listening to this, pay attention. You older guys, I know you're nodding your head. Leave a comment below with your own kind of origin story. I'm sure everybody would want to read it. Anyway, discussed with me, couldn't believe that she would be that low. I looked into the guy. He's not alpha at all. He's a loser, still lives at home with family. Has nothing going for him, looks terrible, doesn't work out. So now, I'm going to say this because in the screenshots that you attached, my friend, you linked your Instagram, and I've seen you, and yeah, you're as advertised, as far as you being reasonably fit and decent looking. But one of the mistakes a lot of guys make when they discover this is they'll automatically try to discount the other guy. He's not alpha, he's a loser, blah, blah, blah sort of thing. So on the chat, there's a picture of him at the very top with his name. I'm not going to mention it. Pinch and zoom on it. He's not an ugly guy. He's reasonably good looking, at the same level as you, just, offering you some clarity on that. I don't know if he's a loser. I don't know where he lives or what the story is, but you have to believe a woman's behavior. When a woman chooses a guy and chooses to be intimate with a guy, it's generally for one or two reasons. He's an alpha, meaning alpha seed, and she sees him as a high value sexy dude sort of thing, or it's beta need, where she uses him for money. Now, because you've basically described this guy as they were having sex, he would just use her for sex and money, actually, meaning he was taking money from her, he definitely wasn't beta need. So that tells me this guy is alpha, okay? So before you go discounting somebody, watch their behavior, and then pay attention to everything that surrounds that. Just, what I do is I hold up a mirror and I just reflect shit back. You may not like what I show you, but that's what I'm showing you, right? Anyway, looks terrible, doesn't work out. Looks like she has abandonment issues, but I already vetted her family, and she had a great upbringing and a good relationship with her dad, so I don't know what's going on really. She could be mentally unstable. She could be one of these chicks that might need to be on antidepressants. It sounds like she has a strong need for validation, and she's using two guys for that and social media. But without diving into her social links, I really couldn't offer much more than that. And I don't even know who she is because she didn't link anything. Vetted her family, but that's just scratching the surface. There's more. The guys in the picture, she even cheated on her ex. Hang on. She cheated on her ex at the same time while she was with you two, and talked to a few other guys while with me and her ex. One even went out with her to a concert while she told me she went out with her girlfriend. Oh, this chick's a lying POS, eh? She's running a bunch of guys simultaneously. And she told another guy she got an apartment finally, and he came and said he'll come check it out after he asked to take her to Vietnam. But she said she couldn't go outside of the US, it can only go stateside anywhere. He wanted all this while she locked me down. There's more to what I saw on her phone, absolutely messed up, but I won't get into much detail. I couldn't believe what I saw. I thought she was a sweet, caring person I met. She's sugar and spice and all things nice, right? Yeah, sweet, caring person. Watch the behavior, right? Vietnam. Couldn't believe what I saw. I was insanely relieved on what a missile I dodged. Okay, let's scroll down here a little bit more. So I went to sleep shocked, and I couldn't believe what I saw when I woke up. She was still sleeping, and I was looking for her about 10 minutes thinking, wow, what a pathetic, miserable human being. What a dumpster fire I spent my time with. How horrible could this have been down the road for me? I went to work, and I knew she just got up around 10:11 when she drank. So around 9:30, I texted her saying, I went through your phone, and I can't believe what a slimeball piece of crap she is, and that she deserves everything her ex is doing to her, and everything that's happened in her life, and that I walk out of this an honest man. Dude, you shouldn't have left her in your apartment and texted her that. You should have thrown her out. You should have done it face to face and got her out of your apartment, because you text her while she's at your apartment, leaving her with this information. That could open you to potential risk. You want to be careful with shit like that, guys. Be smarter, seriously. Anyway, so he tells her he goes through the phone, everything happened in her life, walk out of this an honest man, but her, on the other hand, good luck having a miserable life she leads. Standard bullshit guys usually do to girls, right? I did message her friends and workplace, and they all now know what went down. Dude, don't do that stuff. Don't message a chick's girlfriends in her work and say she's a hoe. I mean, don't. I mean, that's what beta males do. Plugged in guys do. Anyway, well, she has to work there, being judged by everyone. They don't care. Women are forgiven for all indiscretions, guys. Don't think that she's being judged and that you've done something to shine light on her horrible lifestyle. They really don't care. They really don't. They're probably going to say things about you over her. Trust me on that one. Anyway, I thought enough to F her with that, leaving a miserable life. She lives enough punishment, happy life. I've moved on. Dodge not broke down. Da, 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 da. Anyway, let me scroll down here. Okay, so this is the last paragraph. Anyway, this isn't a one-night story. I can't get over her message or how do I move on. I'm very happy. I found out my entire life continues. I've already moved on. Truth be told, it does suck a little, and I'm happy, and this was one great lesson for me if something leans. I wanted to share this story. Okay, so this is really just an experience share for you guys. I don't need to read the rest of it because it kind of wraps up on that note, and we're pushing into 20 minutes on this one, but you get the idea. I did verify with his story because he attached the screenshots of her conversations basically pleading with the other guy. Verified, sometimes you guys don't think that these are real, but I've not come across one that's manufactured. I mean, people pay to have me read these, so that's not something somebody's going to do to troll. Leave a comment below. I know some of you guys are probably nodding your heads and have an experience share on this one, maybe have some advice beyond it, but I think that you overlook 3 major red flags. She's got a addictive personality to alcohol. She has a addiction to seeking validation and attention online, and she keeps men from her past around. Those are 3 big red flags on my list of 20. I've talked to guys that are like, oh, my ex had like 19 of the 20. I've talked to guys that are like this, where it's like they only have 3 of the 20 and it could end in a nightmare. The list of red flags, I think, is even more important. Like as time goes on, like I did not realize the significance when I wrote it in my book. As time goes on, the more guys I talk to, the more these emails that I read, that I come across, where they're describing what went down in their lives with crazy women that invite chaos into it, there's always red flags that pop up. And if you guys would just get good at not inviting chaos into your life, then things would be a lot easier for you. You know, had this guy been better at vetting, she would have just been a plate. She would have never been promoted. He would have never done the, oh, you know, yeah, okay, let's be boyfriend and girlfriend. Let's be monogamous. Let's be exclusive. Let me take you down to Miami. Let me introduce you to my family over the holidays. None of that would happen because he would have been smart enough to see what she was really all about, kept her at arm's length, and she would have just been like a friends with benefits, for example, if that's what he wanted because he thought that she was attracted and they might have had that sort of chemistry. Fine. But you don't invite a woman like this in your life as a girlfriend. They're like literally trash. You want to, you know, like a lot of guys are like, I don't understand why my life is a circus. Well, your life's a circus because you keep hanging out with clowns, dumbass. Stop hanging out with clowns and your life will be a lot better.